What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. As always, it's been a minute. I haven't made a video in a while, kind of neglecting YouTube and neglecting the motorcycles, honestly, and I'll talk about that maybe in another video. But today I wanted to show something that I've been passionate about, something that I've been really obsessed with, and that's jiu-jitsu. And so I recently competed in a Jiu-Jitsu World League tournament, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I figured I'd share the footage of my competition. I had 2 matches. They didn't really go my way, but we'll explain that as we watch the videos. And I figured this is a cool way for me to watch my video and kind of not necessarily react to my footage and my video, but maybe dissect it a bit and look at it from a different viewpoint, right? So I figured I'd just share it with you guys. Thought I'd make a video about it and it'd be kind of cool, and you guys can see what I've been up to. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, man, so right off the bat, one of the things I noticed when I started kind of rewatching this was, I think one of the biggest things competing is your nerves and being comfortable out there. And it's a tough thing, man. You get really nervous knowing that you're going one-on-one against someone, and it's just hard to deal with. So this has been, I think it's my second competition within 2 weeks, so I kind of felt a little bit more comfortable, and I think that's my goal this year, is to compete as much as possible to get over those nerves. And now typically I try to make them pull guard, but yeah, I don't know, man. I get a little overzealous because it doesn't go down to the ground, and then I just try to go for pulling guard, which I really suck at. And I wasn't trying to pull guard here. I was trying to do a sacrifice throw, and it didn't work out too well. But I mean, he didn't get any points or anything like that. So, and right away I go into the lockdown. He tries to break it, going down low, but I was able to get my underhooks here, and then I end up going into deep half. So it ended up working out for my favor, where I wasn't completely out of control, but it's not the most favorable position. And eventually I was able to get my guard back, but he stood up right away, and my brain didn't have time to process what was going on. And then normally I go for the lasso here, and he just went right past my leg, and I was super surprised. I held on to the lasso as long as I can, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have his arm trapped and my shin is in between his elbow, and normally I try to use that, and you'll see me try to do it. I try to kick out and push him and kind of off balance, either get back to frame to re-guard, or at least throw him off balance so I can make him make a mistake. His arm, I was also had both arms in. I was trying to wrist lock him, but his arm was tucked in really well into his gi, so I couldn't even get access to his wrist. And I was a little confused because they gave him the points, and I think I was talking to my instructor and his wife, and she was saying that it's a matter of him passing my hips or something like that, the line of my hips. I thought he had to be in full control, but it doesn't sound like that's the actual case in order to get the points. So he grabbed his 2 points right here, and you can see I'm still holding on to his hands and struggling to hold it. So after a bit of struggling here, he finally decides he's going to go knee on belly, and I didn't want him to get those points, so I went straight and tried to turn down into and grab his leg, but ended up in turtle position. He took my back, and he didn't get his hooks in, so he didn't get his points. I did have his arm, and I was kind of trying to straight arm lock him from he had my back, but I wasn't able to get it. But I was able to finally get out far enough to where he didn't get his points, and I escaped his back, so his back control, which was pretty awesome. In my mind, I was like, man, that's a small victory. I didn't just get choked out. So he reset us here, and I really wasn't sure. I couldn't remember what position I was in, other than I know I was in half guard, and I couldn't remember for the life of me how my hands were. And I don't know. So we just started. However, he said I didn't have any underhooks or anything like that. So again, went straight into the deep half, trying to work the game to get a sweep here. I really, in the middle of the match, my brain just doesn't function, and I know the technique and how to catch that leg and wipe, bring it out, windshield wiper, and different moves to get sweeps here, but in the middle of the match I just can't remember anything. And here he's trying to go, I don't know what he was going for, but I was like, nah, not happening. Going for underhooks here, trying to lift him above my head so that I can get really deep underneath and try to go for a sweep, but he was doing really well staying on top. I think my lockdown's pretty good, where people can't tend to get out of it, but I end up stalling myself because I don't use it like I should. And you can kind of tell I'm a little frustrated because I can't get him to go over. I start going for a choke here, and I thought I was gonna have it, but my professor was like, nah, no, let that go back to underhooks, or let it go and go for something else. So you see I kind of go for a quick wrist lock here, thinking at least make him move, right? The goal is to have him move. I can feel that he's going for a Ezekiel choke, as you can see right there. So I just push him above me, and I was able to regard again, which is, for me, that's a victory. Like, the fact that I was able to get back to regard, I was like, man, in my brain, I was like, hell yeah. And then I was trying to think of ways to sweep, flower sweep, or pendulum sweep, whatever you want to call it. And he just kind of got stuck here, and I couldn't get anything out of it. He finally ends up passing my guard, but he never got out of my what do you call it, lockdown again, or he never passed it fully, so he never got more points. But I think the ref ends up standing us up here, basically gave him a penalty for stalling, or I think he gave him a disadvantage point for stalling because he just kind of stayed there and wasn't able to pass. So the last, whatever you call it, I think it was like 10 seconds, 11 seconds or something. They were like, hey, just go for anything, because he was only up by 3 points. So I lost this by 3 points. So he wasn't up by too much. I was able, so I was kind of happy with that. And they were like, hey, man, you just need to go for broke. You need to go for anything. A takedown, I think, is 2 points. And if I pass, that's another 2 points. So they were like, I was trying to go out there. And, I should have went for like a balloon sweep or something like that. But, in the middle of it, your brain just doesn't work. I don't even know what that was, man. That's funny. That was my first match. I lost by 3 points, but if you compare it to like my first tournament, I think I lost by like 9 points. It was pretty crazy. So I'll take it as a I'm growing and I'm getting better. So this match went pretty well for me until the very end. This time my professor was like, hey, look, there's a dude struggle taking you down. Do not pull guard. Do not go for a takedown. Let him go for the takedown. So we kind of stand for a minute, and I just try to listen and not go for the takedown. He does a really good job of breaking my grips with his knee here a couple times, and they were yelling at me to basically grab his leg when he did it. But he does it so fast. Like, I didn't, again, it's so fast. It has to be reaction or instant when they do stuff like that. So I'm just trying to base out. I go for a wrist lock here, and he kind of laughs. And I laugh at the same time. He's like, man, I respect that. I respect you went for that. So it's kind of cool, man. Even though we're like in the middle of this match, and it's like this camaraderie, man. You go for, you're trying to get someone, but we're just out here having fun, man. And I definitely had a blast. Eventually, he does try to go for a takedown, and I think that's coming up right here. And I was able to basically prevent it and kind of, I guess, stuff it. Really, you can see he kind of changes levels. He goes down a bit, so he kind of like really telegraphs that he's trying to go for something here. Right here, you can see, and then he goes for it, and I'm able to like sprawl out, take him, and then I just kind of yank him and go for it, and I got the points for that pass right there, or sprawl. I don't know whatever you call it. From this position, I'm always really cautious because my knees several times are bad that I've rubbed them across the mat like this and they've popped out, and so I didn't want that happening. So I was a little extra cautious here, especially in this position, and he was able to catch me and he got a sweep on me. So he got his 2 points right here, and that kind of sucked, but as you can see, I was able to capture his leg, so he only got the 2 points for the sweep. And then back again, I'm in this like position where I'm trying to get the lockdown, trying to stretch him out, and then there I get the lockdown again. So I feel pretty confident that he's stuck here and he's not going to pass my guard. And this is where I start working, trying to get underhooks and push him above me. And he goes for this like straight arm lock, but I was like, nah, man, that ain't happening. Get out of here. So he gives up on it. And eventually I'm able to get an underhook here, and I get a sweep and I get my other 2 points. So I think the score comes up to like 4-2 here in a minute. So he's really trying to get that leg out. And I'm just like, man, I cannot let that leg out. Let him get to mount, because then I'm really screwed. And I was able to get like a underhook on the right side and turn into him and he kind of went off balance. And you'll see right now. boom, he goes off balance, and I'm able to come out to the back, and I got my points for that right there. And this is where I messed up. One, I should have had more pressure on him, but two, I tried to pull him, and he ends up doing this like fat man sweep, and again, I end up on the bottom, and I was just like, damn it. And it was my fault, man. I like going for that move, and so I should have been expecting it, but it is what it is. And then from here, I'm like, you know what? I'm up by 2 points, so the score is 4-2. And I'm like, I think there was like a minute left in the match or something like that. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna, if I can't sweep him, I'm gonna keep him here and stall him. And this is where I messed up. Boom, right there. He got me an Americana. Instead of going for the sweep, or instead of keeping underhooks, I left my hand out and he caught me. And that was it. And it ended up, the score was 4-2, and he caught me with an Americana, and he won the match. So, but you know, I was excited that I was able to keep him held down and locked down. And I was able to get the sweep, and I was up by points. And you know what? It happens, and that's what happens. And I gotta take these videos and I gotta learn from them. Right now, I'm not gonna get caught in that again. I know that I gotta keep my underhooks. Can't leave my arm out there like that. Not pulling guard or going for a throw seemed to work for me, making them do it. When I did Worlds last year in Vegas, we both got, the guy I was going against, we both got penalized for standing, and I ended up trying to pull guard and go for a throw, and they were like, why? Like, you both got negative points, so the score's even. Why would you do that? Just wait for them. So I think I gotta just stick that in my head and go for that. Once I get to the top game, I usually do okay. But yeah, that's my 2 matches from Jiu-Jitsu World League. I had a blast. I had a lot of fun. It's awesome to go out there and have the team, support you. It was kind of embarrassing for me because my whole team was there watching that match, and I was like, it just sucks, man. You train hard. I trained super hard for this. So I was going, I think for the last month before this, I was going to Jiu-Jitsu twice a week. I lift almost every day. And then before these tournaments, the week before, I stopped lifting and I just go to 1 class a day for that last week before the tournament. And so, I mean, I grinded, man. I cut weight, I worked out, and they just didn't go my way. So it's a lesson for me. I get to learn the mistakes that I made. And in the end, though, the competitors are super awesome. Afterwards, everyone's cool. They're like, hey, man, good job. That was tough. So it's super awesome being able to compete. And this is kind of driving me to be more active, be more physical, be more conscious about my health, exercise, lifting. Like, I built a whole home gym now, and I think I'm going to make a whole video on that and just kind of show you a tour. I bought a sauna. I'm waiting for the sauna to show up, and once that's all set up, I'll probably make a video on my garage in my home gym. I think that'll be kind of cool to show off. And yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys got to see a little bit about what I've been up to and what's been on my mind 24/7. And I've just been like obsessed with jiu-jitsu and trying to get better. Am I going to be a world champion? No, I'm never going to be a world champion, but I can be the best that I can be. Maybe I can win some gold medals along the way. And I'm enjoying it. My kids are enjoying it. My family's enjoying it. And I've made a whole group of new friends, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So, and yeah, hopefully you guys are doing great. I'll make another video soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.